Yo, 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 what's good, y'all? DeCypher, the writer to retire week rhymers here. We back with some more Call of Cthulu. My bad for snacking in y'all ear. I will actually be right back because I actually need a drink before I start this shit. If you're doing this on a dry mouth, not at all. Yo. Fuck. I forgot about this shit. Hold up. I ain't even in the right mental capacity to be doing this shit. Forgot it's a problem-solving game. Nigga ugly as fuck. Look like an alien mixed with like arachnia or some shit.
What the hell was that? Damn. Maybe I can use this dagger. Damn it! Damn it! I have to use a specific dagger.
Ooh.
This dagger looks different.
Ooh.
You sure you won't be needing that hand? You're losing it, Detective. At this rate, you're right. The bottle will get you before I do.
You didn't see anything.
I saw you within an inch of putting a dagger through your forearm. Did I miss something more interesting?
I was attacked by a creature. I pushed it back, I think.
I think so too.
You knew. You knew about the beast.
What are you talking about? Think yourself lucky that I saved your hand, even if it was to save my goods.
You mean me?
Don't flatter yourself, sweetheart. I'm talking about the contents of this gallery. And by the way, where do you think you're going with that dagger?
It saved my life. It's an extraordinary dagger.
You should talk to Algernon Drake. He's an antique dealer here on Darkwater. He'll tell you all about it. From what I saw in the ledgers, it was him who sold it to Sanders.
It's not your style to give me free information like that.
Take it as payment for being my canary. A simple trade-off. Now go see your antique seller. I've still got things to settle with Irene.
Where's the bookseller? Another volume of the Reverend's wife's diary.
The pastor declared himself to be the prophet. He renounced God and worshipped a strange pagan entity with a monstrous appearance. His wife tried to reason with her husband, but in vain. He was convinced that he must listen to this voice in his head because it holds the truth. Darkwater colony led by Reverend John Wickwood settled on the island during the 17th century. They named the island Darkwater because of the dark shades of the sea. They believed it was because of the peculiar color of the rocks surrounding the island. They erected the first buildings, among which were the Hawkins Manor, the church, and the cemetery. The rare documents and handwritten notes they left spoke of nightmares and deviant behaviors. They disappeared at the beginning of the 18th century. There's clues in here. Yeah. So where they at?
A strange amulet. I have a feeling I better not touch it.
Yeah, don't touch nothing. But you pick it up though. The least that can be said about this book is that the title is well conceived. The illustrations of the human anatomy and dissection methods presented are illustrated in great detail. You have to have a strong heart or the detachment proper to doctors to consult its pages. Even a few years back, it was possible for a single practitioner to know all the medical knowledge of his time. This book, which concludes the series, shows that this is now virtually impossible. About 10 renowned doctors took part in putting together this collection.
The Book of Zion is the foundational work behind Helena Blavatsky's Theosophical movement. Its followers place truth on the same footing as a religion.
These Tibetan writings are at origin of the esoteric movement founded by Helena Blavatsky at the end of the 19th century. The creator of Theosophy would have drawn extensively on the text of this work, but no one has ever been able to consult them. I thought that they didn't exist. This book, discovered in the nameless bookstore on Darkwater, could be as much a fake as irrefutable proof of Blavatsky's sincerity. Would you read the book? If I was black, I wouldn't, but I'm white. So,
what does this strange book contain? This book contains unholy knowledge.
This collection and catalogs classifies creatures that I have never heard of, divinities from the stars, creatures capable of traveling from one dimension to another. It presents itself as the reference work on the bestiary of the myth, without giving details on the mythology to which it refers. Its pages are covered with phantasmagorical illustrations. As precise and illustrated with much detail as the first volume, this book focuses on healing surgery specific to malformations and motor disorders.
Freud's The Interpretation of Dreams. It's the work that laid the foundations of psychoanalysis at the beginning of this century.
This practical work, written by Sigmund Freud for psychologists, describes the techniques of analytical interpretations of dreams. The analysis must follow several rules, especially that of free association, a principle announced by Freud at the end of the 19th century. It treats dreams as a way of revealing buried desires. I cannot believe that this theory is applicable to my nightmares.
What happened here? Let's start over. Where did they break in from? Blood. Seems like amateur work.
Ooh, shit. I know that shit hurt. Dumbass. Fuck, nigga.
To whom does this footprint belong?
I kick in the door, waving a fofo. All I want to know is where Brooklyn at.
No sign of struggle. If the burglar smashed this jar, it wasn't intentionally. Was he hurt then? What killed all these animals? What sort of thief leaves his tools at the crime scene? What happened that made the burglar flee before finishing his work?
Oh, nah.
What the? Charles Hawkins? What sort of power did Sarah Hawkins' painting possess?
Oh.
Sarah Hawkins helped hide something in this safe.
That's the Necronomicon, isn't it?
Drake put in a great deal of effort to hide whatever is in here. Everything is linked to the Sarah Hawkins case. Drake left instructions on how to find the combination of his safe.
A page seems to be hidden here. It's possible to read. If somebody finds these memoirs, there will be no doubt that I am in serious trouble. My last and only hope is that my body and bones are still on this plane of reality, in order that they be recovered and burned. The funeral urn must be given to my dear mother if she is still of this world. The following message is of capital importance. Whoever reads these lines and demonstrates acuity as sharp as mine can hope to gain access to my most precious possession. It lies within my safe, and the clues to the combination are found in 3 cylinders, each hidden where life and study combine in the Greek world. Each cylinder is numbered, even if, as celebrated the authors say, order is the pleasure of reason, but disorder is the delight of imagination. Each cylinder's order is the pleasure of reason, disorder is the delight of the imagination. Despite my preference for organized chaos, I must admit that the reason usually prevails in the end. If by chance a person, or should I say genius, was to match my intellect and find the combination of the safe, I would ask that they deliver its contents to the safekeeping of my friend and colleague, Professor Armitage of Miskatonic University. The content of this safe is not only a vast digest of knowledge, but also a weapon that is far too dangerous for it to fall into the wrong hands. I hope that you will be able to appreciate the danger that this represents, and that you will be able to act accordingly. In any event, I will neither be there to guide you, nor to suffer from your actions.
Is everyone on this island taking sleeping pills? What link did he find between Charles Hawkins and an old amulet?
This key that bears the Elder Sign is the only one able to protect your psyche. It is in the form of a cylindrical medallion hanging at the end of a heavy chain. Hundreds of years ago, the Star and Branch, whose purpose is to push back the forces of the Great Old Ones, were engraved at its center. Everything points to it being Charles Hawkins that tore it from its last owner, an Egyptian antique dealer. In press cuttings that mention the misdemeanor, the date of the robbery coincides with the last of Hawkins' trips to Cairo. It remains to be seen whether he knows of the true purpose of the artifact. Try to find it.
Arkham editions. Never heard of them.
A book of spells supposedly written by the legendary King Solomon. It contains various rituals of invocation, rituals, and curses. Reedition by Claudia D. Waits, based on L. W. De Lawrence's original. This volume is part of the Arkham Anthology, a luxurious collection of treatises which works on esotericism and the supernatural.
How many volumes are there in this collection?
Azathoth and Other Horrors, a collection of poems by Edward Pickman Derby, also known as the Nightmare Lyrics. This collection of poems was sensationally received when it first published in 1908, and Derby was only 18 years old. The volume is part of the Arkham Anthology, a luxurious collection of treatises and works on esotericism and the supernatural.
Another volume by Arkham Editions.
Opera in 8 acts by Benvenuto Chieti Brodicera, an infamous lyrical work published in Italy in 1768. It is said that the opera was performed only once, resulting in an audience riot that left several dead and missing. The volume is part of the Arkham Anthology, a luxurious collection of treatises and works on esotericism and the supernatural.
Arkham Editions. Never heard of them. How many volumes are there in this collection?
An ancient Frisian manuscript translated by William R. Sandbach. The text claims that in the distant past, Europe and other continents were controlled by the mothers of this people, and moreover, that our alphabet is derived from the Frisian language. This volume is part of the Arkham Anthology, a luxurious collection of treatises that y'all know what we're talking about.
Another volume by Arkham Editions.
Of course it is.
Arkham Editions. Never heard of them.
A book of esoteric philosophy and key text in Madame Blavatsky's Theosophical movement.
Things are not looking good.
Hmm.
I kind of chalice. A kind of
This goblet
chalice.
seems to be very ancient. It seems to be made of gold and decorated with real precious stones. The rubies and sapphires make up a specific motif. 19th century, as America's whaling industry reached its peak in the rest of the world, whales gradually disappeared from the waters surrounding Darkwater. This phenomenon appears even more mysterious because up till then the region was a favored refuge for citizens. In 1847, after months of pursuit, Shello returns to port with a gigantic creature on board. Its crew asserts that the sea monster had eaten all the disappeared whales. After a night of ferocious combat, the survivors managed to drag the beast onto the whaling ship. Oh, that's how to save the game. Okay.
Things are not looking good.
I think that's what that's for. I'm not sure. I could be wrong, but...
How many volumes are there in this collection?
ISIS.
Another volume by Arkham Editions. Arkham Editions.
Solomon.
How many volumes are there in this collection?
Prophecies.
Another volume by Arkham Editions. Arkham Editions. Never heard of them. How many volumes are there in this collection? Another volume by Arkham Editions.
Who's that? 3 cylinders.
Cylinders that Drake tried to hide. I should perhaps listen to them. Things are not looking good.
And these red rocks, like precious stones, lie fixed, set in divine gold. To be the guardian of the Grail does not protect me from its attractions, Henry. And I do confess it. I am willing to pay to know its secrets. I finally understood that we were only pieces on the chessboard of the gods. Let those of us who are still standing protect our White Queen from their dark soldiers. I see our number dwindling, and my will strengthens as my apprehension grows. We shall refuse to be the playthings of destiny. Dear friend, I thank you again for the anthology of the works of Arkham editions that you sent me. Volume 9, Azathoth and Other Horrors, seemed particularly relevant to my research. I never tire of browsing through them.
The Chalice of Knowledge. The Queen has little protection. So these are the volumes that Drake was talking about in his message. What did Drake say about this collection?
Dear friend, I thank you again for the anthology of the works of Arkham editions that you sent me. Volume 9, Azathoth and other horrors seemed particularly relevant to my research. I never tire of browsing through them.
Volume
I finally
9.
understood that we were only pieces on the chessboard of the gods. Let those of us who are still standing protect our White Queen from their dark soldiers. I see our number dwindling, and my will strengthens as my apprehension grows. We shall refuse to be the playthings of destiny. And these red drops, like precious stones, lie fixed, set in divine gold. To be the guardian of the Grail does not protect me from its attractions, Henry. And I do confess it. I am willing to pay to know its secrets.
The Queen has little protection.
Shit hurting my head, dog. Should be a 9.
And these red drops, like precious stones, lie fixed, set in divine gold. To be the guardian of the Grail does not protect me from its attractions, Henry. And I do confess it. I am willing to pay to know its secrets. And these red drops, like precious stones, lie fixed, set in divine gold. To be the guardian of the Grail does not protect me from...
Drake talked about a particular volume.
So 9.
So these are the volumes that Drake... What did Drake say about this collection? Drake talked about a particular... So these are the volumes... What did Drake say about this collection? Drake talked about a particular volume. So these are the volumes that Drake was talking... What did Drake say about this collection?
I don't get it. I really don't. And I'm trying to get it, but I really don't get it. Okay, so there's the Queen.
The Queen has little protection.
The Queen has little protection. What does that mean?
The Chalice of Knowledge.
1, 2, 3, 4. Hold up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5, 3, 9, if I'm not mistaken. I might be though. That's the thing. Five, 3, 1. Wow, that actually was it. That's crazy. It's probably the first time I ever got one of them riddles like the first time. Man, my problem solving skills are getting better. Let's go. That's the Necronomicon, isn't it? Big ass book. God damn. What in the fuck? They be coming up on an hour. Shit, playing this game be making me feel like I've been on here for ages.
K-drama down, flipping so control up. I give up. She's too smart for me.
There's no such thing as intelligence. People are just more or less experts on a given topic.
She's a social development expert, and I have to impress her. I'm meeting up for dinner tonight with her coworkers, and I'm gonna look stupid.
Then try Cougar.
What's that?
Cougar. It's an app. They select the best books out there on business, personal development, for example. And then they create these highly condensed mini summaries that contain everything you need to know about each book. Check it out. Playing with Fire by Scott Rickens. It even tells you the time it takes to read. 20 minutes. In 20 minutes, you'll know everything you need to know about financial independence. You can read it on your way to meet her on the subway. There's even audio coups that you can listen to while you're driving or jogging.
You?
I've never met anyone who understands me the way you do.
Thank you, Cougar.
What kind of dumbass commercial?
Dr. Colden, this man's condition is deteriorating.
What says Dr. Fuller? It's his patient, after all.
He's busy with Captain Fitzroy. He specifically asked us not to bother him when that's the case.
Oh, of course. I'll see what I can do. Mr. Blake, can you hear me? I'm Dr. Colden. We'll take care of you.
There's nothing we can do. I tried talking to him. He's catatonic.
Did you inject him with a tranquilizer?
No, Doctor. Not me, not anyone. Our stock is empty, yet again.
Again? But there was enough for the whole island.
More and more people are suffering from insomnia. We can't refuse to help.
Of course.
Any idea what this man might be undergoing?
Very well. I'll examine him.
Excuse me.
His skin shows abnormal loss of color and seems dried out. He's totally dehydrated. His fingertips and toes seem to feature a slight ring under the skin. Tender at the touch. Slightly sticky. Severe malnutrition. Swollen abdomen with traces of petechia. Doesn't seem like an edema. Slight protuberances seem to indicate the presence of a foreign body. 30-year-old subject. Severe hypothermia. Erythematous papules around the eyes and eardrums. Necrosed palpebral tissue. Lord, this smell.
So, Doctor, an opinion?
I'm not sure I have the necessary knowledge to treat this man.
Don't say that. You're our most worthy doctor, after Dr. Fuller.
Some of his symptoms are beyond my comprehension.
What did you find?
Did you examine his abdomen? It would seem there's something inside.
He hasn't eaten in days. Are you certain it's not an edema?
No. Can't you recognize an edema? Pushing with your finger won't leave a trace. And look at these bumps.
It's not like he could be pregnant.
Whatever it is, this man has something inside him that shouldn't be there. We should operate on him at once.
Dr. Fuller said not to worry, that the edema would go away by itself.
You know, I'm not sure Dr. Fuller is telling the truth. In spite of the muscle contractions, his arms seem limp.
Yes. They can't have decalcified, not at this rate.
And yet, if there is a bone in this arm, it's softer than that of a newborn baby. What about his cranium?
It's soft at the touch. It does seem like the skull of a baby.
Look at these sticky rings growing at his fingertips. What can be happening?
I'm sure you'll find an explanation. You have to.
In spite of the muscle contraction.
Yes.
And yet, look at the...
I'm sure...
I see signs of hypodermoclysis, but he's still dehydrated. When was his last IV?
He's constantly under perfusion. I've even gone beyond the recommended dose to no avail. And you won't believe me, but when we bathed him earlier...
He seemed to feel better?
Yes. Like he needs an aquarium, not a perfusion. But that doesn't explain his condition.
I almost don't believe it myself, but these symptoms are not those usually associated with the human species.
What do you mean? Don't tell me you believe in extraterrestrials.
No. This poor man is from our world, all right. But his body is undergoing unnatural mutations. And this transformation is killing him. His body simply can't cope.
Where could he have gotten such an infection?
I pray that it's not here.
Dr. Colden, may I know what you're doing to my patient?
What I'm doing? How about what you've done to him?
Let us calm down, my dear Marie. I don't appreciate your tone, nor your insinuations. I've done to him what I do to all my patients. Provide him with the best available care.
Your imagination is without limit. It's your homemade drug again, is it not? Those people are not your guinea pigs.
There, there. What have you seen to put you in such a state?
His limbs? His body temperature? I don't know what experiments you've undertaken, but this is going too far.
Oh, I sense some excitement beneath your indignation. Could it be you wish to join me in my scientific endeavors?
You are a brilliant physician, Dr. Fuller, but this man has the attributes of some kind of animal.
Fascinating. An animal, you say? Could you be more precise? Cephalopod, perhaps?
This amuses you.
Your reaction does. I know your thirst for knowledge, Doctor. It's your innocent worries for this man that have you overreacting.
For this man, and the others whose medical files you've been hiding.
I have to protect my discovery. These people owe me their life, but the world isn't ready yet. It will be, in time.
I will not let you do this.
You disappoint me, Marie, but I still have hope you'll one day share my point of view. In the meantime, take care of your own patients and try not to forget who you're dealing with.
Was that a threat? What did he mean?
It was a warning. Dr. Fuller is this institution's founder and one of our profession's most influential voices. My word is of no weight against his. If I continue to protest, I will only ruin my reputation and career.
It's scandalous. Can't we do anything? Is there no evidence of his crimes?
Oh, that evidence exists. I'm sure of it. I need to find the missing medical files.
And where would you find those? In his office? What if you get caught?
I'd rather not think about that. I'm counting on your discretion.
Of course, Doctor. You can count on me. I'll keep mum.
No, you're pulling my leg. I'm not joking. I saw the schedule. She's alone in the bathroom again. And she still says nothing to that old witch, Donovan.
Oh, listen to the way you talk, you naughty girl. And the answer is no. You can imagine that she doesn't dare say a thing. That silly goose lets herself be trodden on.
Oh well, at least we won't have to clean for a while.
And just wait and see the next time the water's cut off. It's a real show. Dr. Colden?
Watch out for the water, Doctor.
Gentlemen, may I help you?
We're waiting on news regarding our mother, Maureen Harding. She came in with a kidney problem, but we haven't heard anything since.
I'm sorry. Dr. Fuller is a very busy man.
Well, is there anyone else who can tell us what's going on?
She's our only family, you know? But we can't even see her medical file.
Don't worry. I'm aware our institution is not always welcoming. But your mother is in good hands. I'll tend to her myself, and keep you informed at once. Would that suit you?
Well, that sure sounds great to us, Doctor. Thank you.
But those are just words, so we're not budging.
Very well. At least I'll know where to find you. Patients and hospital personnel eat the same food.
Interesting.
Doctor, please. My chest. Oh.
His perfusion of a semi-physiological solution doesn't seem to work. He's undergoing a ventricular fibrillation. Nurse? Deborah, come and help me, please. His potassium level is too high. Replace it with 2% glucose solution with insulin, calcium, and sodium bicarbonate.
I'll tend to it right away.
Thank you. He's in your hands.
Damn.
Hay fever.
Coronavirus.
What's he doing here?
Dr. Colden?
He broke his back in an accident down by the docks.
Dr. Colden?
Ah, the whaling station. What's wrong with me?
What are you talking about?
Doctor, that you?
Yes, it's Dr. Colden. Tell me what happened.
It's the old whaling station. See?
What did you see there?
Nothing. Nothing at all. The floor was all rotten and I fell straight through.
And that's how you broke your back?
Perhaps. No idea. Passed out.
I'll just sleep a bit more. I'll just sleep a bit more.
That nigga back ain't broken.
Oh, so there's Harding. She's still sleeping. Given her file, a nephrectomy would have been inevitable. But Fuller was able to save her kidney. What is the boiler room key doing here? The key to the boiler room. Not where I expected to find it. The key to the boiler room. Not where I expected to find it. Another insomniac. I should find the cause for such a widespread trouble.
This dude.
Dr. Colden, here you are at last. This patient was again brought up to the psychiatric wing. We've been following the treatment you prescribed, but the dysgeusia persists and he's lost a great deal of weight. We haven't been able to move him. The stress makes him hyperallergic.
Sir, I am going to examine you. Do you understand? Inject him with a dose of pentobarbital, intramuscular, so that I can conduct the clinical examination. His binds left bloody wounds. He bit his lips so much, they're still bleeding. White froth, evidently because of such drooling.
So, Doctor, what should we do with this patient?
Those basement brutes tied him up too tight, and now he's hurt.
I keep trying to heal his wounds, but he reopens them.
Do you have a diploma as a nurse?
Excuse me?
So take care of this man.
She said, what, bitch? You gonna beat me with a nightstick? Aight, bitch.
Mrs. Sanders? Why did nobody tell me about her admission?
The file describes the state in which Irene Sanders enters the Riverside Institute, as well as the treatments administered to her. Fuller added a handwritten note. He recommends to take her down to the psychiatric wing in order to provide her with the quiet and rest that she needs.
Chronic insomnia, like half the island.
So, Doctor, have you been able to examine our mother?
Pardon me, but could you remind me what her case is?
We're waiting on news regarding our mother, Maureen Harding. She came in with a kidney problem, but we haven't heard anything since.
I've tended to her, and I have good news. Her blood analysis is reassuring. Her kidneys are as new.
Are you talking about the same person? This is miraculous.
She's still recovering, but you may speak to her upon her awakening.
Oh, thank you so much, Doctor. We'll wait for her to wake up. We've been here since this morning, so it won't make a difference.
It's a quiet little town. Days go by, steady as ever. I wanted more for myself, but...
I don't get why they have us waiting so long. Almost no patients here.
Ethan.
Marie,
What are you doing here?
I'm waiting for my medication, of course. Why?
You're not here for treatment, right?
Am I so obvious?
Only to me. I know you worry about me.
I trust you. I'm happy to see you.
Me too, Ethan. Is that all?
Well, there might be something else. I'm not sure.
Tell me.
I have nightmares. They keep me awake every night. It seems stupid, I know, but they're terrible.
Actually, you're not the only one.
No. No one has ever seen the things I see. It's like I'm turning mad.
So many people have this affliction. It's like an epidemic.
Do you think it might be related to Fuller's work?
I don't know yet, but I will figure all this out. Everyone in Darkwater is suffering from nightmares.
Really?
We don't have any medication left.
Oh. There's no excuse then. I should let you work.
Take care, Ethan.
You too, Marie.
So, they was together, I guess.
Where did my fiancé go? I hope those nutcases will stop burdening her with work.
Nutcases.
Dr. Colden.
Fight tuberculosis.
There's no way I'm leaving until I find what Fuller is hiding. This man, Edward Pierce, his file is incomplete. What did Fuller do to him?
Thank you for your help, Doctor.
Thank you. I'll be going. In theory, this is where we hang the key to the boiler room. Dr. Fuller always keeps his key with him. Dr. Fuller... In theory, this is where we hang the key to the boiler room. We've been waiting to be restocked for weeks. We're running out of this medicine.
I know, Doctor. We sent the purchase order, though, but Mrs. Donovan refused it.
Once again.
Can't you do anything?
Donovan takes her instructions directly from Dr. Fuller. I'm afraid I can do nothing about it for the moment.
Pseudo-scientific work. Same. That and, there's another one, but I can't remember his name. They got really long-ass names. This pseudo-scientific work by Cesar Labrosso correlates with an individual's morphology with his criminal predispositions. The seriousness of this study and the accuracy of the demonstrations can deceive an uninformed reader. Alright, so where is his office, though? Because I need to find that shit, actually. Oh, this nigga dead. That's just the boiler room.
I don't have any business in the boiler room.
Right. There's a reason the key is there, though, right?
Let's hope I can go through the administration office.
The administration office? Reference book of medical sciences.
I have little time for you, Doctor. You'll find out that it's not only the doctors who... Wait a minute. Where do you think you're going? Dr. Colden.
Mrs. Donovan.
Nobody goes into Dr. Fuller's office. But rest assured, I'll tell him you came by.
That won't be necessary. Thank you.
I will tell him, nonetheless. Wait a minute. Where do you think you're going? Dr.
Mrs. Donovan.
No, but that... I will...
She's a witch, an old hag. I didn't make this up. And I'm the one who pays.
Elizabeth? You all right? Why is this room in such a state?
Because, as always, I'm cleaning it by myself. And the water was once again shut off this morning. I had to bother Mrs. Donovan again, giving her a new excuse to belittle me.
Do you really need Mrs. Donovan to open a valve? Why not ask the janitor?
I can't make these decisions without her approval. Imagine if there were a leak. Anyhow, the boiler room is locked half the time. So every time the water gets shut off, I have to go and endure her reproach until she's settled the problem.
I see. Courage, Elizabeth.
Thank you, Doctor. Everything all right, Dr. Colden?
All is well.
Thank God. No.
Come now. Don't let that witch sap your morale.
I'm trying, Doctor. I'm trying. It's just that sometimes I imagine she shuts down the water herself, just for the pleasure of harassing me.
Her time is much too precious for these kind of petty games. Courage, Elizabeth.
Thank you, Doctor.
I think that's it. I think that's what his name is. It was something with an N. I remember that. He got like this. He kind of looked like a Pyramid Head off of Silent Hill. Oh shit. Might be getting off soon anyway. This shit giving me a headache. I ain't supposed to be thinking this much.
The key to the boiler room. All I have to do is shut off the water and hope Donovan takes the bait. Let's hope I can go through the administration office. The operating room is never accessible after an operation.
I need to find one of those I like the game. I'm not gonna lie. I like the game. The only thing that I complain about is the graphics. That's the only thing. And whether you consider how good the story is, it really don't matter. And it's still got the ability to scare you too and shit. Like without having all the extra, without having, ooh shit. Like I looked at that and smelled it. Like like that's one of the things about this game. Like I like some of the shit.
I can't shut this with my bare hands. I need a tool.
There should be something on the ground, right? One of these? None? No. Now I gotta leave and come back and get something else. Like shit. There's so much shit you gotta do before you cut off the wall. It's like. Okay. The case, cause I'm not Pierce no more. I'm some other.
I can't shut this with my bare hands. I need a tool.
Yeah, it's not no pixelated graphics. And like the graphics are really good. It's just like the character graphics, like the movements of the characters and shit. Like if you get caught by someone, it's not as scary as you being chased by them. Cause like when you get caught, they just like they catch you and then they just look at you and pat you. It look like it's kind of like Hello Neighbor. How like Hello Neighbor just got like the characters just got such bland expressions all the time. Like, hold up. You can see like some of the hair and shit like goes through sometimes. But other than that, like the clothing, the hands and shit, like almost perfect. See, then there's shit like that, like the fucking.
The answers must be hidden in Fuller's office.
High security.
Everybody says it. She's a witch, an old hag. I didn't make this up.
It's temperamental, if I understand correctly.
What a pest. It's so unfair.
It's temperamental, if I understand correctly.
Oh yeah, in here would probably be a good way to. It would be a good place to find one, right?
And I'm the one who pays.
No. I was thinking. The tool I was looking for would be in here. I guess not. Maybe in the storage room.
Everybody says it. She's a witch.
Oh no, what's in here? What room is this? I don't think this is gonna help. There ain't even shit in there. I don't even got like a lantern or nothing. Cause this ain't even the same character. Yeah, I'm confused. Maybe if I go boiler room and the storage room is somewhere around here, right? I would think, I would hope. Make more sense.
Dr. Colden.
I'll be going.
Find a tool though. Kitchen. Storage room, there we go. See? I feel like she should at least have a lighter though, or something. Just damn. There we go. We just gotta go around, right? No? Where the fuck is the boiler room at? I was pretty sure I just passed it. It's the storage room. Administration. Let's see. Boiler room. There we go.
I feel guilty about Elizabeth, but I need the diversion.
Dr. Colden, might there be a problem with the water?
I was about to mention it. It seems it's been cut off yet again.
I can't take this, Marie. I feel I'm gonna burst.
It's not your fault if we have defective plumbing.
And yet, I'm the one who gets punished because I'm gonna have to square off with that annoying old witch. Courage, Elizabeth. Here we go. And hold your tongue this time. Mrs. Donovan?
I'm busy. Elizabeth, isn't it?
Yes, ma'am. But it's about the water.
What now?
It's off.
At last. The missing files must be hidden here. I should go another way. Something is wrong with these masts. It's some sort of puzzle. I've unlocked something. Patient file.
The cylinder was hiding in Fuller's office. He recorded his thoughts about one of the many psychoanalysis sessions he submitted Sarah Hawkins to.
I was right.
Conclusions. Session number 17. Patient? Sarah Hawkins.
This finger belonged to a woman. Why keep it here?
The nature of what she calls the mythos. It goes without saying that these peculiar delusions are the price that comes with her exceptional gifts.
Good luck, man. Appreciate it. Immortal Oryx. It's a unique ass name too. I fuck with it. Definitely check out some of my other videos. I do
Why does Dr. Fuller write psychological reports about Sarah
Fortnite,
Hawkins?
Skyrim, Witcher, wrestling. I do a few games. And then I also drop battle rap content on here as well, so if you're into battle rap.
The poor souls downstairs are not Fuller's only subjects.
I have Destiny 2 actually. I have played Destiny 1 before.
I'm late. The Chance was keeping secrets from me. I presume that he will try to break into the basement sooner or later. I am prepared.
Hawkins, Fitzroy, and Fuller. What is the connection between these three?
It is fortunate that I had the presence of mind to set the morgue in the basement. When all the fuss about the Hawkins incident finally comes to an end, I will dispose of her belongings. In the meantime, I must remain hidden in plain sight.
He explains the finger. Okay.
Of course. Sarah Hawkins is the connection.
The parchment fire shoe. I'ma come out of it. He could be right there, right?
I must go back to the basement. I should go another way.
Go down in the psychiatric wing. Where's the psychiatric wing at?
I'll just sleep a bit more.
Dr. Colden?
It's definitely an agenda with them needing to be asleep, but what for?
Dr. Colden?
Block B. Kitchen, storage room. Block A. Bathroom, men, administration. No. Pharmacy, boiler room. Administration. Where's the psychiatric wing at, though? Surgical room. Psychiatric wing. Psychiatric wing. And wasn't it where that high security shit was? Where was that shit at? I don't even remember. No. It's not over there. Not at all. Yeah, I'm losing it. Alright. Let's try this again.
Dr. Fuller always keeps his key with him.
The bathroom. There's the kitchen. Yeah, I really can't find the place.
There's no way I'm leaving until I find what Fuller is hiding.
Not outside.
The operating room is never accessible after an operation.
The surgery room. Time is full. There we go. Right here. Ooh, I ran past it like twice. Y'all just wasn't gonna tell me though. Once it gets into the whole like we probably going into like a dark part of the game right now. I'm not gonna lie to you. I've been on my toes this whole time just cause of that. Like, it's more of a detective game than it is a horror game though. I will say that. But there is definitely a lot of psychological aspects that you gotta be very wary of. This is kind of terrifying, I ain't gonna hold you. Oh shit.
Ah, now that's the Marie that I know. I knew I could count on your scientific curiosity. It's time to show you what you were so eager to discover.
Ooh. Oh shit.
If you're gonna shoot me, at least have the decency to look me in the eyes.
Turn around. Slowly. Talk, filthy thief!
Oh, I swear I'll shoot.
Take a minute to look around. Everything points to Charles Hawkins.
He's dead.
No. He was here for a very specific item.
Oh, no.
The book. Why was it in the safe?
Have you read it?
Answer the question.
How foolish of you. Now you won't be able to escape his will. What did it show you?
She went into Fuller's office. She was looking for Sarah Hawkins' corpse.
Sarah Hawkins, you say? Let's go back to the start, shall we? Whose life did the Necronomicon choose to show you?
Dr. Colden. She was at the Riverside Institute. She's in danger. I have to go.
Wait! No one knows the occult better than me. You might need my help.
All right. All right.
Yeah, I need all the help I can
might
get.
need you after all.
Perfect. Let's meet later at the Hawkins mansion. Now go! Rescue the doctor!
Right.
Thank you, Drake.
Save the cheerleader, save the world. Yeah, see, so shit like that. That's what I'm talking about. It should look like a bad Accelerator's cameo. Ooh, I like that. I like that. I like that. The Crow coming out of nowhere. I feel like they just needed a little bit more time to just refine some of the shit, and I feel like it would have been perfect. It reminds me a lot of Vampire, actually. It's the same. It's damn near the same. Except, like, they're the same type of horror game, but they're not really, like, that scary. More than they are, like, focused on the gameplay aspects. Like the psychology and the detective. But the thrill and the horror is a plus. I'm actually reading this book called The Hollow Tree by James Brogdon. And I've been really into suspense and those types of novels and shit lately. But yeah, I think this is where I'm gonna get off. We at chapter 9. I've been on there for an hour 43 minutes. So I think I'm gonna get off because my eyes are starting to go out on me. Love horror books. Alright, man. Peace out. And whoever just joined, you can rewatch the live. This is gonna be up. So yeah, DeCypher the Chaos signing out.